Hey guys, it's Ruth. This is a response video for a young lady. I can't say her name because, of course, if you send me a private message, of course I'm not going to mention your name because some of the things are personal and, we don't want to know everybody's business. How about that? As you know, I've been a nurse about 27 and a half, almost 28 years at one hospital and 2 at another, so a total of 30. Some of the things I know because of my medical work, some of it is because of the things I do with herbs, some of the things I learned from my granny, some of the things I've learned from researching and doing wild crafting. Look that word up, wild crafting, it's pretty interesting. But anyway, the question that the young lady had was, she has not gone to the doctor yet, which I would recommend that you go to the doctor to make sure that there's not issues going on with that. But she is having a lot of problems with pelvic pain. We as women, of course, have lots of issues with menstrual cycles and ovarian issues and a whole bunch of stuff that goes on down there. So we always got something going on. But one of the things that I am recommending for her is first go to the physician and make sure that everything's okay, maybe a pap smear or some kind of scan or just whatever. Second of all, if that is not the issue and these are just pelvic pains which are associated with female issues, some of these things can also be used by males for abdominal issues, but mainly this is based on female issues. One of the things that I use and have used successfully is yarrow tea. We're going to come down to the table, sweetie. Please buy these seeds. All women, I would recommend this unless you have a contraindication. Yarrow grows really easy. Matter of fact, it'll take over your whole garden or yard. So put it in a special container unless you want a yard full of this stuff. Dries real easy, has a earthy kind of pleasant smell. It doesn't smell bad, it doesn't taste bad. But yarrow is an excellent herb for relaxing spasms in the pelvic abdominal area, especially the pelvic area. You can make it into a tea. Usually the way that I do it, and we'll stay on the table, sweetie, is a tablespoon of the yarrow. It's easier if you dry it. You can do it fresh, of course, but in the winter you're not going to have this. So plant it, dry it, have it available. A teaspoon of this in a cup or so of hot water and brew yourself a nice relaxing tea. The tea and the bath combined, which I'll come to that in a second, do that no more than twice a week. Because one of the bad things, or I should say one of the side effects of yarrow is high amounts of yarrow can make you more sensitive to the sun. So let's go back down, sweetie, and stay on the table. Brew it into a tea, drink you a cup or two, sit down, have your relaxing time. This is a very good female tea, yarrow. One of the other things that I am recommending for you, dear, is make you a brew to take a nice warm bath. The night before, get a half a cup of your flowers, your dried flowers, leaves, stems, whichever way you want to dry yours. Put it in your big brewing jar, so hopefully you have a big jar or even a big pot. Fill it all the way to the top with hot water and cover it. And I leave it on the counter overnight until I come home from work or wherever it is I've been. And when I get ready to take a bath, I fill the bath up to my navel at least, because you're wanting to sit in a very warm to hot bath and pour this brew in there. It's getting into all the places that it needs to be. It's covering the abdomen, and it really helps to ease some of that pain out of the pelvic region. So we have a tea, we have a bath tonic, which is what I'm going to call it. Also, one of the other things, and we can come up, sweetie, the trusty old hot water bottle. Heat helps relieve a lot of things. We all remember these when we were little. Maybe some of the young adults don't remember this, but parents put them everywhere. After you've had your nice hot bath, your day is over, you're sitting, taking time for yourself, get your hot water bottle full of nice hot water and sit there with it on the abdomen or the stomach, whichever one you want to call it. Or if you don't have a hot water bottle, you can also do the heating pad, which I love this thing. If something happened to it, I don't know what I'd do without it. But one of the other things is a recipe. You know, Roots always has some kind of recipe going on. Let me move some of this stuff off the table. There we go. Good old trusty castor oil. I have industrial bottles of these. This is one of the bottles. I usually buy 3 or 4 bottles at a time because I use it for a lot of stuff. It's not only for the hair, folks. It's for the lungs. It's for an emollient. It also is really good for making salves. But anyway, castor oil and nutmeg. You think, what the heck is Roots talking about? Nutmeg. I usually get a cup or a jar or whatever you want to call it. Fill it up. Make it making a little paste. Not so much a paste. I would have to say a mix. I'm not going to pour it out because I don't need this. You know, I don't waste my ingredients for any reason. I would have to say this is maybe a half cup, but I always make it in the jar. For you, I would recommend fill the jar about 1/4 of a way and put 4 tablespoons of nutmeg to let it steep. And when you're ready, take a teaspoon out of the oil mixture to rub on the abdomen. But if you're going to use it immediately, put a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg with maybe 2 to 3 tablespoons of castor oil. Mix it very well. Rub onto the abdomen and either throw it in the dryer to get it hot, or you're wanting to protect the skin, which is why I have this cloth. If you don't have a hot water bottle or a heating pad, throw whatever that you're going to cover it with. You can use t-shirts, wool fabric, or even cotton fabric. Throw it in the dryer, get it nice and hot after you've rubbed the nutmeg mixture onto the abdomen, and cover it up, and then put another towel or a blanket over that and just sit and relax. Put your legs up, relax, try to be calm, try to help yourself, because sometimes we stress ourselves out so bad and the pain threshold goes up. When I worked at the hospital, patients who were really tense or really could not relax, they used more pain medication or required more pain medication. So sometimes if you can kind of just relax a little bit, try to unclench those hands, try to turn down some of the noise, turn down the lights, you'd be surprised how your body will help itself. But the nutmeg, look that up for me, doll. You'd be surprised how that really relaxes spasms in the body. I would not recommend no more than twice a week, because too much nutmeg is almost really treats in your body like a drug. Some drug addicts know what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to get into that. But I hope this helps. I hope that helps the pelvic pain. But most of all, do your research. Make sure you go to the doctor to check out to make sure it's not a really serious health condition. And I hope that helps. And if not, please send me another private message, okay? Bye.